how do you see the challenges ahead? How do you see the evolution as far as intermediary liability is concerned? You know, in Europe we've had Delphi versus Estonia,
MTV
which has
versus Hungary. Exactly,
which has sent some fears in the spine of many. How is this going to evolve? Are we going towards a situation where governments are going to increasingly use those intermediaries to act as their surrogate censors in many ways? Is this really the scenario? With or without court order? Are we seeing more and more of that situation? And if they don't, then they become liable.
Yes, I totally hear where you're going, and because Europe is right now the most interesting place to watch. Delphi v. Estonia, that time the case had not been decided. In fact, we were using some of the pleadings in our own case, and we were very disappointed the way it came out. And then but MTE v. Hungary is there, and this single digital market discussion has started, and the European Union is looking at all of this and how it impacts. We all hear things, the great connector internet is. I think now the benefits of internet have been talked so many times, it's almost tried to talk about them. But these are real issues which, for a continent as big as Europe, but still as united, in terms of numbers, not as big as some of the developing countries perhaps, but is having these discussions right now. That is the fear of which you're saying about surrogate censorship, or I use sometimes the term censorship by proxy, and which somewhat we actually already see the examples from People's Republic of China. It's like, I will only allow you to play in my market if you play by my rules. And that's a thing which is now creeping up many times. Almost every jurisdiction says, I am a nation, I'm a sovereign nation, you have to listen to me. And disruption, which is an overused word, and if we were in the Valley, we would have already used it 1,500 times by now already. But it is true that not only are the industries being disruptive, but also in the way we understand these issues are being disrupted. So I do think that that this is a slippery slope, whether the way right to be forgotten is used, or the way platforms are made liable for user-generated content. It is always a direction which we don't want to move into. So, because otherwise what happens a lot of time, these discussions also evolve around is, oh, these platform companies, they should train more people. Like in Delphi v. Estonia, or they say like, oh, you know it when you see it, whatever is objectionable. And I'm like, that's not really a legal standard. But even if you were to come up with a standard, the amount of data we all are generating, it will all have to be automated. I cannot expect Google or Facebook or Twitter to train armies and armies of people to look at each of everything which comes up and then test it for what is allowed, what is not allowed. And that's not how those tools are being done or can be made to develop. Also, what US does and what European Union does gives very nasty ideas to many other governments. So it's a thing like, a lot of times, because many of the economies are now leapfrogging without concepts which are already developed into Western democracies. For example, rule of law, democracy, free speech and expression is already there. So it's fine for the European Union to say, oh, I'm going to have a nuanced discussion, but it doesn't bode very well for the rest of the world. And what they listen and get inspired is rarely positive. So to my mind, those discussions are moving in the wrong direction. The default of the internet is First Amendment. And because of the rise of illiberalism and the rise of these discussions, we're moving in a direction where we want somebody's throat to choke. And if we hand that throat on a platter, we're making the jobs easier for censorship rather than tougher.
Yeah.
So,
thank you very much, Mishi. It has been a pleasure talking to you, and I think we got a very good sense of some of the challenges in India and globally. And we've gone through a global journey with you. It has been fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.